Good morning, children. Unit 5 for 9th standard, Unit 5. I am going to take lesson that is proofs. Water, the elixir of life. It is by Sir C.V. Raman, who is a famous scientist, who is known for Raman effect. So many things he found out. So Sir C.V. Raman it is. Here he says the importance of water. Without water, there is no life. Even either whatever the kinds of organism may be, they cannot survive without water. He says, what is the need of water? How the water is very important to us. Then how it is available to us. What's the origin of water? How it is available. Though it is available in plenty, whatever it may be, it is the duty of the human beings to save the water. Instead of going unnecessarily, the rainwater, it flows to the thing. There is no proper filtration, storation. It directly enters into the sea. Then how the water is wasted. All these things is said very clearly in this lesson. This lesson is by C.V. Raman. He said, elixir means what? Elixir, that is, we said no, that is, what can I say? That is the medicine which can survive us from death. In the olden days, we heard the story. There was a fight between Asuras as well as Devas. And Lord Vishnu, he found the Amrita, that is the thing, Amritam will used to say, that is the thing which saves the Devas from life till There is no death for the Devargal, it seems. That's the very Purana story, that is Puranic story. So the same like he said, the people said that is from the olden days we used to say, which is the real elixir of life, they said Amrita. Then, as per Sir C.V. Raman, that is not a real elixir of life. The real elixir of life is water. So, in the olden days, they say the elixir of life is, elixir means what? Sava Marunde, we can say. That is the medicine which saves us from death. The elixir, actually, elixir of life, as per others' comment, it is Amrita. As per C.V. Raman, as per his account, the real elixir of life is water. Because no organism can survive without water. This is the lesson about. See that he is given by many attracting pictures. What are the olden things under? Man has through the ages sought in vain for imaginary elixir of life, the divine Amrita. Not ordinary, divine. Because it was created by Lord Vishnu, divine Amrita. Actually, this is not the real elixir of life. The real elixir of life is water. So, as per the statement, the Amrita is, as per C.V. Raman's statement, it is imaginary elixir of life. So, we can see the places, whatever the places you will see, everything lies in the water only. For example, what is the water? Plain water it is. So Libyan desert that separates Nile Valley in Egypt. So one side we are seeing the sea, other side we are seeing river. All the things, all our earth is surrounded by water body only. So though it is surrounded by water body, then from where we are getting water? We are getting water from rain. Rain is the main source of water. Apart from that thing, we are getting water from other area thing, river. The rainwater goes to the river, the spring. That is main sources of water. That main sources of water are there. Main source of water is rain only. Apart from that, other things are supporting artesian water. And then spring, glaciers. They melt. The ice melt into glaciers, and they becomes water. Like that, many things is there. So, Egypt was made by its river. Egypt is made by river only. Egypt is a nation, country that is made by river. So, without life there is no river. Nile flows into the sea. So, Central Africa, even our India is all the three sides surrounded by water. In ancient civilization was created and is sustained by the life-giving waters which come down year after year with unfailing regularity. Even you would have studied in the history that the civilization of the man developed near the riverside only. So river, water is very important. So the question for us, what is the imaginary elixir of life? Just now I said, what is the imaginary elixir of life? Divine Amrita. So in the place of what you have tried, Divine Amrita is the imaginary elixir of life. Clear? Then and then you have tried just side by side you have tried the answers. Take pencils in the hand and write. Then what according to the writer is the real elixir of life? Who is the writer here? Sir C.V. Raman. According to him, what is the real elixir of life? Real elixir of life is the plain water. Plain water. What is the wonderful difference of the writer that takes place, that talks about in the pages? So what is it? How the water is important to us. He says the importance. That is not in one word or one line. We have to write 3 or 4 points together. I will write afterwards. So, there is nothing we should say. The river water it comes that may be stored by. There is nothing which adds so much to the beauty of countryside as water. He said according to Sir C.V. Raman, which gives the beauty to the country, whatever the country may be, water. The little streams trickling over the rocks, or little pond by the wayside, where the cattle quench the thirst of an evening. The evening side, suppose if you are going village side or wherever the water sources are there, the cattle, that is the 4-legged animals, they used to come and drink, they quench their thirst, the rivers only, the rivers and the ponds, wherever the pond means what? There is a ditch in the ground, some water stored in that is pond. So the cattle and other people and all, they used to drink, some of the people, those who feel thirsty in between, they used to drink the water from that. That is a beautiful sight it seems. There is a small pond, near the pond the cattle are quenching their thirst. Thirst, dagam. Then second thing is rain-fed tanks, the rainwater. The tanks are the dams, they are constructing the dams and they store the water. So rain-fed tanks are other beautiful nature for the country. What are the things which adorn the beauty of the nature? One is pond, a stream of water that is used by cattle. Other thing is rain-fed tanks. That is, rainwater is stored in the tanks. We can say rain-fed tanks or some word. We can say reservoirs. In Tamil, we have to say Anekattu Pagadigal, so loan dams, this and that. We are storing the water. Also, often so sadly neglected in their maintenance. So, at the same time, it is the duty of the government as well as the people to save the water which is stored in the tanks. Our cheering sight when they are full, the tanks where we are storing water, that may be full in the rainy season. You see in the paper we have studied, some of the lakes are full with the water. If you go and see, it means that will be a beautiful sight to us. We say, though the water is stored in the rainy season, it is the duty of the government as well as the public. We have to support the government to save the water in the purified condition. Water in a landscape may be compared to the eyes in a human face. How the eyes important to us, the same like water is important. He compared our human eyes to water. Without eyes, there is no life for us. The same like without water, there is no life. It reflects the mode of our being bright and gay when the sun shines, turning to dark and gloom when the sky is overcast. The water is fed with the tank is fully fed with the rainwater. It will be beautiful. The sunlight reflects in that. The sky gives, because of the sunlight gives, the moonlight gives the appearance to the water and everything. It is a beautiful, even the sun shines in the dark night, it gives a beautiful appearance to the water. What is the cheering sight mentioned in the paragraph? In this paragraph, what is the cheering sight? That is the pond by the wayside, the cattle quench the thirst of an evening, the rain-fed tanks, that is in the South India. These are the cheering sight. Cheering means what? Beautiful. What are the beautiful sights? That is a pond or stream. That is the water is taken by the cattle, the water drank by the cattle, And then river fed tanks, these are the beautiful steering sides to the human being. What does the writer compare water to a landscape? In a landscape, the author compares our human eyes to water. One of the most remarkable facts about water is its power to carry silt or finely divided soil in the suspension. What are the remarkable thing? Remarkable means what? Very important points. One is the water, it carry the silt. Silt means what? That is fertile soil. Mandalman will say, all the minerals and all deposited on the soil, it becomes silt, like not soil, it becomes silt, like the crystal of salt, no? Crystals on the kalluppala irukum paranga, like that can be deposited. It can carry the silt and deposited in the soil. It carry away. When water is run away, it carries the silt along with it and it deposited in the soil. So it is not wasted, it is deposited. Deposited means what? Put on the soil, then the soil becomes fertile. If the soil becomes fertile, the plants will grow fertilely. This is the origin characteristic color of the water in the rain-fed tank. The color varies with the nature of the earth in the catchment. That is the rainwater river. The river water, you see the ocean, it is in the blue color. Really water is in blue color, that is colorless. Because of the sky appearance and everything, we can get this color. Catchment means the particular area where the reservoir is situated. Catchment, that is nothing else, it is reservoir. Catchment means what I say. You go for the meaning here. Reservoir, where the water is stored. According to the area where it is present, it gives the color to the water. The finest particle above remaining floating with the liquid in spite of the greater density and are carried to great distances. So such particle makes the plant think. When the silt-laden water mixes with the salt water to the sea, there is a rapid precipitation. Precipitation means what? The science I used to say, the precipitation settled down at last. So this and all makes the beauty of the water as well as it gives the deep color to the sea. The color of the water changes successfully from the muddy red or brown silt according to the places where the water runs. Suppose the water runs through the muddy soil, it is in the muddy color. It is in the brown soil, the water seems to be brown color. If it is the black colluvial soil, it will be in the black color. So wherever the water goes, according to the place, it will change their color. If it is salt, browny soil, brown color it is. Black soil, black color. The water changes its color according to the environment. How does the water rain-fed tanks get its color? Because of the silt deposited in it. The flow of water has undoubtedly played a great part and a beneficent in the geological process by which the soil on the earth's surface has been formed from the rocks of its crust. I said already, the rocks and all, no, they become because of the water flows. Such a big rock becomes particles of the rock and become crust. The rock means what I said. Rocks divides because of the water flows and it becomes what? Crust. That is pieces of the rock. Crust is nothing else, that is pieces of the rocks. The same agency above under appropriate condition can also play a destructive part and wash away the soil. So water, it deposited the rocks into the crust. At the same time, it wash away the soil. If it is heavy, the rains are heavy, so they washes away the soil. That is soil erosion. Washes away the soil is known as what I said, soil erosion. So water gives benefits as well as disadvantages also. This is because we are not using it properly, and which is foundation of all agriculture. Soil is very important to us. In India, not only India, most of the countries, they depend on agriculture only. So when the soil is washed away, where the farmers can deposit, where they can cultivate, farmer, they are a particular area. Within that area, they will cultivate the plants, they harvest the crops, everything. If there is no soil, how can they cultivate? That is not possible. So it's a great sorrow to the farmers. The problem of soil erosion is one of the serious important in various countries and especially in many parts of India because India is an agricultural country. The condition under which it occurs and measures by which can be checked and deserving the closest way. So we have to find out what is the reason for the soil erosion. Then because of the heavy flooded water, how the flood of water can be controlled. This and all we have to think over. So, soil erosion occurs in successive steps, the earliest of which may be easily passed unnoticed. The earlier stages we are not passing off. For example, if you got a headache, just we are neglecting it, that may come to fever. If you are not giving treatment, it may go to some other thing. Like that, in the beginning itself we have to find out. In the later stages, the cutting up and washing away of the earth is too painful apparent in the formation of deep and ravines which make the agriculture impossible. All the soil eroded with the water, agriculture is impossible. So what we have to do? Sudden burst or excessively heavy rain resulting in a large run of surplus water are the principal factors of causing soil erosion. So we have seen soil erosion. What are the reasons for the soil erosion? One is sudden burst of water. Suddenly. Because of excessive rainwater. Run of surplus water. Surplus means what? Heavy water. These are the reasons for soil erosion. Contributory causes are, this is first reason, that is created by nature. The second reason, what are the other causes for that? Slope of the land. Then what are the other causes? We are destructing the lands. The cultivable lands and all we are taking for slope of the lands. We are cutting down the trees and making the places slope. So water can easily run away. And removal of natural protective coat and removal of forest. Natural protective coat means what? That is forest. Forest is created by nature. We are not man, it is not man-made. So it is created by nature. The existence of ruts along with water can flow with rapidly gathering and the absence in its checks of flow. Incredibly large quantities of precious soil can be washed away if such condition exists, and so this is the cause. Naturally it may be flooded with the water or else it is washed away by what I said, slope of the lands. This is man-made. Removal of protective coat, that is avoiding the cutting down the forest. These are the reasons for the thing. What is the main cause of soil erosion? What I said, suddenly here again, sudden burst of water as well as run of surplus water. These are the reasons. What are the other factors mean? That is a factor which are made by the man, that is slope of the lands and removal of protective coat. The protective coat here means forest. So the menace of soil erosion presents to the continuous of successful agriculture is an alarming one. Alarming means how the alarm makes us do the work in the correct time. The same like it is giving an alarm to be careful. We have to check the soil erosion then and then. This is the lesson said by Sir C.V. Raman. I said, just we have seen what are the important points in this. So let me continue in other class, children.